everyone, welcome back to my channel. This will be my bullet journal entry for March 2019. So let's go ahead and get started. So I had the toughest time deciding which theme to go with for March. I wanted something green, but I didn't want to do succulents. Even though I love succulents, I felt that was a little too common, so I finally decided to go with the bamboo theme. After drawing my first half of the bamboo stick, I totally forgot I wanted to use masking tape to create crisp, clean lines, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm using masking tape to block off the center for the space that I'm going to use to write in the month. And I'm only going to draw outside of the masking tape lines. I know it's not perfect, but it really doesn't have to be. I'm going to use a bunch of different shades of green, and I'm starting off with the lightest shade first, and I'm going to fill the whole page with bamboo. So now that my page is filled with bamboo, I'm just going over the lighter shades of bamboo sticks with a darker shade of green to create some dimension. So to blend it all together, I'm just going to brush over some water on the bamboo sticks using a watercolor brush. This will also give it a look of a watercolor painting. It's so simple to do. You can turn any water-based marker drawing into a watercolor masterpiece by doing this little trick. Now I'm going to use my watercolor palette to paint on the branches and the leaves of the bamboo tree. So now that the branches and leaves are painted, I'm going to go ahead and use a white gel pen to draw in the nodes of the bamboo. The node is the area of the bamboo where the sections come together, and it's also where the branches grow from. And to give this piece a little more character, I'm going to use a gold ink to add on little embellishments. I'm first going to paint in a gold border along the outside of the masking tape. And now I'm going to add in a couple of gold leaves as well. And finally, for the best part, removing the masking tape. I always find this so satisfying to see the crisp, clean lines afterwards. And now you can see just how pretty the gold is when it's reflecting in the light. Now it's time to write in the month, and I'm using my Tombow dual brush pen in black. No matter how much practice I get writing with the brush pen, I still get so nervous for these videos because I'm so afraid I'm going to mess up, but luckily I didn't here. So let's get started on the next page, which is the monthly calendar layout. So I already pre-sketched my monthly calendar layout, and now I'm going to use the Crayola Super Tip markers to color in the top line of each week. Now I'm using my white gel pen again to fill in the dates of the calendar. In this section right here, I'm going to write in the bills that I have due for the month. And next to that, I'm going to have my events and birthdays. So I got these super cute letter stamps that I'm going to use to stamp in the days of the week. I did on the previous page. I'm just drawing bamboo with my Crayola Super Tips again, but this time I'm not going to use water and I'm just going to leave it as a marker drawing. So because I'm not using my watercolor paint, I'm just going to draw in the branches and the leaves as well with my Crayola Super Tips. And that completes it for the calendar layout, and let's go on to the next page, which is my expense tracker and my orders. So I went ahead and drew in bamboo trees in the center of the page. I used the same methods as I did the page before. If you watched my video last month, you might remember that my expense tracker page was very broad. I had a lot of freedom, so for this month, to help me keep better track of my expenses, I created different categories to be more organized, so hopefully this method will help you more as well if you're giving bullet journal a try and wanting to keep track of your expenses too. So for the first table, I made it for my purchases. I have it sectioned off into 3 parts. I have the date, the cost, and the items, just so I can see how much I'm spending on what exactly for the month. So for the bottom table, I made it for my bills and my cards. I separated it into 4 different categories of which bill or which card it is, what the current balance is, what the amount due is, and the new balance if there is one. Now moving on to the next page, I have my orders. I do calligraphy work. So this page will help me keep track of who I have and what projects I need to work on and when it's due. Now I know I didn't have a mood tracker for last month, but I wanted to give it a try this month just so I can see how my mental health is overall throughout the month. I think it's really important to keep track of it for my own record. That way on days where I don't have such good days, I can try to figure out what went wrong and how I can better those situations that affect my mental health so that I can be a better and healthier version of myself. I have 6 different moods, and each mood is a different shade of green in which I'm going to use to color in the leaves of the bamboo tree, as you'll see in just a moment. So I decided to make the bamboo gray so that the leaves of the bamboo tree would really be the highlight of this page to see all the different moods that I'm feeling throughout the month. So each leaf is going to represent each day, and however I'm feeling on that day, I'm going to shade it in according to the mood that I'm feeling. Now that everything is colored in and outlined, I'm going to date each leaf. I thought I drew in 31 leaves, but I guess I didn't, so I had to add this last minute leaf in. So we're on to my habit tracker now, and I kept it the same as last month because it worked for me, so I didn't want to change it. I'll post pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook page. I'll link those down below and you can check those out to get better pictures of my tracker. Moving on to the next page, I started off with a quote that really spoke to me. Oftentimes, I find myself waiting until I feel fully ready enough to do something. I'm always my own worst critic, so I really need to stop that habit because it's always just holding me back and it's so frustrating. So I found this quote really motivating because it pushes me outside of that mindset to just go for something that I really want to do. I hope this quote has inspired you as well to begin something you've always wanted to do but never felt confident enough to. There's no other more perfect time than there is now. So I really hope you just go out there and do it. This page here is just for me to jot down all my ideas so that I don't forget, and what better place than to have it next to this motivating quote. For the first week of March, I decided to go with a boxed out look for the days of the week, and I'm just filling it in right now. After writing in the days, I just outlined it with my Micron pen and drew in the boxes. I had these really cute Polaroid sized cards just laying around that I never got to use, so I finally decided to use them today, and I just wrote little cute quotes on them. This is probably one of my most favorite washi tape rolls because it's so cute and it's green, so it goes perfectly with my March theme. The only thing is that it's not actually bamboo, it's cacti, but I didn't have any bamboo washi tape, so I had to use what I had. But I'm still sticking to my bamboo theme, and I drew over here a gray and black bamboo tree. There's already too much green on this page, so I had to make it gray. So for the second week of March, I went with a more simplistic layout, and I also went with the blue-gray color scheme because I was honestly getting a little tired of seeing so much green throughout the whole March layout. So this is the final look of week 2, and I'll be sure to post up the other weekly layouts on my Facebook and my Instagram, so make sure you're following my social media accounts to keep up with the latest updates. And now let's do a final flip through of my March bullet journal spread.